people tend to assign feelings to the devil.
Yeah.
So sadness, depression, grief, anything that people feel is negative, that they feel is unpleasant or unhappy or painful.
Yeah.
If it's any of those things, it's from the devil.
Welcome to Trauma Recovery Out Loud, where we talk about where we've been, where we are, and where we're going in our trauma recovery journeys. Join us and get some insights and encouragement to keep going and keep growing. Let's go.
All right, we are live. Welcome to the Trauma Recovery Out Loud podcast. I'm Stephanie Dunham.
I'm Evelyn Mason.
I'm Richelle Knapp.
Yeah, welcome to our Monday night.
Yeah.
Yep. Monday night.
Yeah.
When we're not sick usually we're not sick or lost power or something like that.
Yeah. Richelle was sick last week, but thankfully not till after we recorded.
That's true.
But she's getting better. She sounds a little nasally.
Yeah.
A little
congested.
Congested. But we'll survive. Yeah. And so we're continuing our series about what we need as trauma survivors in the church, what we actually need.
Yes.
To try to educate people. We're not doing a church bad type of thing.
No, we're not.
We are talking about things we've encountered in the church that weren't helpful, but we're not necessarily saying the church is bad, because we're all Christians. We love the church.
Oh, yeah.
We love God and Jesus and all the things that we're supposed to love. But it doesn't mean that the humans always get it right.
Right.
Yeah.
So as longtime Christians and survivors of trauma in recovery, we're here to tell you what we've experienced and what we think will help. And we've done 4 other episodes. One of them was testimonial. And then you can look up the other ones. I'm not going to recap. No recap alert.
No recap alert.
Sorry. My brain's tired. I've been having trouble sleeping. So
yeah,
whatever.
If you want to know, you can go back and
look at our Spotify and YouTube channels. You can find it.
Really want to know? Go back and look.
Yeah, Richelle, your eye makeup's really cute.
Oh, thanks.
Nice.
Very, very bunny. Like,
and I'm wearing a bunny shirt. How appropriate.
Yes. That shirt.
We love that. We love our bun.
I love you guys too.
Oh, yes, we do.
Aw. 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 We love bun.
So I'll keep this brief, but this series has affected me deeply. I didn't expect that. Just really gotten me thinking about things that I kind of had put aside, not for any wrong reason. I've been focusing on my own healing and things like that. This is certainly a part of my trauma, not a big part of it, but it's definitely a part of it. So I've been having a lot of thoughts about what happened when I was younger and going to church and trying to learn how to be a Christian. And a lot of it was very difficult because of this type of thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I've been having a particularly hard time with this. I have other things I'm having a hard time with. But this has definitely been helpful to me.
Yes.
In that, I think something that's missing in the church, a Christian church especially, is nuance.
Yeah.
But I think part of the problem is we want everything black and white. So I'm learning how to live with nuance. Like, I'm not going to say that if I experienced bad things or abusive things for people in the church, that it wasn't bad or abusive, but I am saying that I don't want to look at the whole church as evil or bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Or even, people's intentions aren't evil and bad. The impact might be hurtful.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why you have conversations like we're doing now.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and that's really why we're bringing this up. And I found that this series has made me kind of introspective. You know, really thinking about what happened, what it meant. In a lot of ways, it's been sort of confirming, like, you know, when you feel like something's off, but you wonder, is it me? Am I getting this wrong? You know, and to understand that it is a way that, you know, that we as believers can actually hurt each other. And I also found it a little sobering, or have found it, you know, sobering, because I can see where I've gotten some things wrong as well. And I think, you know, you can have all the best intentions, but still cause damage. It's pretty humbling.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm sure I'm capable of hurting people within my ignorance. I mean, I probably have. You know?
Yeah.
So, at any rate, so we've gone over some things that we've experienced so far, things about psychology and attitudes about the new creation and stuff like that. Recap alert.
Recap after all.
We tried to avoid it, but it didn't happen.
we couldn't not recap.
Rochelle's prone to jumping ahead, and I'm prone to recapping a guest.
Okay.
Whatever. Along for the ride.
Okay, but tonight we're going to be talking about the tendency, especially in certain sectors of the Christian world, to respond to things that you're going through as if they're demonic. We did kind of talk about this some last week, especially when we're talking about the psychology and how the church responds to that, and some people think it's demonic.
Yeah.
But this is more about, like, if you're having all these feelings, if you're angry or sad or depressed. And I guess we talked about this in the negative emotions one too.
We did. We definitely touched on it. I think we're going to be more drilling down.
Yeah.
Even though we have definitely alluded to it.
Things are bound to overlap, though, in this type of thing.
Now, I do want to qualify some of this and say it's entirely possible that your behavior is motivated by the demonic.
Yeah.
I mean, after all, we're constantly being tempted by the father of lies.
Yeah.
The Bible talks about temptation, and the temptation is to sin, right?
Right.
So sinning isn't just breaking the law or doing things that are bad, but it's also, well, I guess it is always doing things that are bad. What am I saying?
It is that, but it isn't just that, right?
Right.
Well, yeah, I guess what I'm trying to get to is, you know, if you know that you struggle with, like, for example, I struggle with having a temper, for example. If I know that I struggle with having a temper and something is making it flare up, the temptation is to just bleh at whoever is upsetting me. And I believe that demonic can bring that temptation to me. Like, I believe that's a real thing.
Yeah.
The Bible tells us it's a real thing. I don't think all this is just manufactured in my head.
Right. I mean, he is called our enemy, father of lies. He was the enemy right from the start.
Yeah.
Deceiver. So, we're not discounting that, but we're also thinking, I mean, I was thinking earlier that our enemies are the world, the flesh, and the devil.
Right. Yeah.
Just to kind of, you know, encapsulate it. So it could be any of those combination, you know.
Right. So
again, there's nuance.
Right. Now, I'm on the fence about demonic possession. There's people who say it's not possible. Some people say it is. I don't know.
You mean as Christians being possessed? Yeah.
Some people adamantly claim as a Christian you cannot be demonically possessed.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one either.
I don't know if that's the case or not. Okay, I'm not sure that's what we're talking about, though.
Right.
It seems like more of what we're talking about is what some people will call demonic oppression, where we're being influenced.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Possession, something like possession, if it's even possible, would be on a whole other level.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
that's not what we're talking about.
Right. Yeah. This has been a touchy subject for me for a long time because of that idea of how far it can go. And I know I won't jump ahead, but
Are you sure about that?
I've been.
Are you sure about that?
I did tell you guys in our last meeting. I'm feeling the. I'm aware of it now, so I'm trying not to jump ahead.
Okay.
But yeah, I've had not a lot of experience, but some experience with this idea, and it's very confusing and very cloudy when you have trauma and you're struggling with your emotions. And things just don't make sense. And someone wants to make it this very like seemingly simple but wrong assessment. That
it seems like when people talk about it, it's like you as God's child should be happy
all the time, no matter what.
All the time, no matter what. And blessed, feel blessed, and feel taken care of, and all these things. And the enemy comes in and he puts this like cloak over you. And if you're feeling sad or depressed, it's because the enemy put something on you that's causing the sadness and depression. That's what it feels like people are talking about.
That it's coming from him. And it simplifies things.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it could be, but probably not, or at least investigate.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I feel like it's not quite, it may be true just for some circumstances, but it doesn't quite get there for me when it comes to dealing with trauma.
Yeah. I had an experience today that kind of tells me that idea isn't true. I was sitting at the table downstairs, and I'm becoming more self-aware of things in my life as far as healing and trauma and fear. And I'm sitting there and I have all this anxiety, and I took a moment and I said, Lord, I just feel like my life is out of control all the time. Like internally, that's how I feel all the time. Mm. And there was this moment where I felt this, like, underneath of all that, this feeling of peace. Like, it's all there. The chaos is still there. But God was under all of it. And I don't think any of that is demonically influenced. I think it's just, like, we're talking about nuance. We're talking about, it's not as simple as you're being demonically influenced. Or you're being influenced in some other way. Because that could be simplified in some way, too. I don't know what else could possibly be. But he will definitely use the demonic influence almost like a cop-out to explain things away.
Right, because you're not supposed to own depression, anger, sadness, grief. That's not supposed to be part of you. That's from the enemy, and he's putting it on you.
Yes.
And you need to get rid of it and declare whatever you need to declare, or seek deliverance ministry, or whatever. A lot of, it sounds like a simple solution, but it doesn't actually do anything.
Yeah.
As far from my experience, I've been through deliverance ministry. I've been through name it, claim it, speaking over myself, declaring X, Y, and Z type of stuff, and I've still struggled with sadness, depression, grief, anxiety, whatever. So let's get into the nitty gritty of it. If we're gonna, did you call it that one?
Drilling down
on it. There we go. Let's drill down.
Yeah.
Everybody get their drills out.
Mine's in the shop.
What? What are you gonna do? Hammer
Richelle.
down on it? Do you have a hammer?
You have
Sure,
a pickaxe or something?
Yeah, sure, why not?
How dare you not come to this show without a drill? What's the matter with you?
Oh my.
Yeah, let's drill down on the experience of living with that kind of thing, because I've heard so many testimonies. Well, I was feeling depressed and I sought deliverance and now I'm not depressed. Okay, I'm not going to say that's not true. I'm not going to say that. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I've gone through that, and I was still struggling with depression because the problem isn't external, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
It's internal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've experienced prayer when I was feeling just really bad, and I asked the ladies, it was at my Bible study, it was like a prayer time. If you're struggling with something, you know, and we were in these little groups, and I was struggling with depression. I was struggling with feeling awful. And at that time, I didn't realize that it was trauma related for the most part. And I remember receiving prayer. I remembered feeling comforted. I remembered even feeling like bubbles of joy come up. And I thought, this is really nice. And I felt cared for by the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And that was all good. But then it came back, like, you know, a couple of days later, because even though I was being cared for, it was like almost like the Lord was holding me on his lap and I was receiving comfort, but we still needed to deal with what was causing the problem in the first place. So I remember being confused, like, why am I feeling bad again? You know?
Yeah.
I'm not going to diminish your experience of feeling comforted at all, but I also went through periods where I had this feeling of quote unquote being cared for, or God was with me or whatever. I don't know if he was or he wasn't, but sometimes it was manufactured by myself.
Yeah.
I wanted to do what everybody else was doing. I wanted to fit in. I wanted to experience God, and I convinced myself, falling backwards on the floor, people laying hands on me and speaking tongues loudly over me, shaking, laughing, crying, whatever it was, because I went through the in the 90s the Toronto blessing thing. And that went on for a really long time. Eventually I got kind of sick of it. Like, people were just endlessly doing this on Saturday night at church, and just I was like, I don't want this anymore. Like, I stopped going to those and went to Bible study instead. I was like, I'm tired of the marshmallow fluff. I want some meat.
Yeah, it's like, what is the purpose of this? Why are we even doing this? So we can feel good? You know?
Well, yeah. I mean, people chased that for a long, long time after.
Yeah.
Because it was like 94 or so that this stuff was started, somewhere in that time frame. Maybe it was like 93.
Yeah.
And then people chased that. I think some people are still chasing that. That feel good moment where they're laughing, crying, shaking, doing weird things, where they have this ecstatic moment of, and that to them is feeling God. But the problem is, I could go through all of that and still, like you said, Evelyn, still come back to, I'm so depressed.
Yeah.
I'm so sad. I have so much grief. Like, it wasn't fixing the problem.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, because that wasn't the solution. It's kind of like getting the wrong medicine or the wrong, you know, the wrong tool for the job. It just, ultimately, it ends up not really working. And you still have to do what actually needs to be done.
Exactly.
And
it's like,
yeah, go ahead, Richelle.
It's like eating marshmallow. Well, some of us don't like marshmallows, but it's like eating something sweet, like you said, Evelyn, fluffy.
That was me.
And light.
Well, that was Steph, but yes.
Okay, that's Steph, and it makes you
My
feel
hair
good.
Is fluffy and light, but anyway, sorry.
It makes you feel good in the moment, but there's no grit to it. There's nothing there.
No substance, no nutrition.
There's no substance. And in my mind, what I've learned as a believer, and from living with my sister, who's the best example on earth, and I don't say it as a compliment, it's just true, of someone who's living their life for God, it's in the determination to do the right thing. It's in the determination to be a warrior and to do what God tells you to do, whatever he puts in front of you. That's where you get the joy, the peace that you're searching for. It's not in the fluffy moments. What is on my face?
I don't know.
I might have not gotten my
But
foundation.
I will see that I might be a pretty good example here in the Dunham household, but I'm not the best person on earth.
Well, to me, you are. I'll say to me. Let me correct myself. She's the best example in my life. I'll just put it that way because I live with.
I'll accept that.
I was going to say, dang.
There's like 7 billion other people on this planet. And
anyway,
a quarter of us are Christian.
My point is, I've watched and learned from Stephanie and from God too. I'm not discounting that at all. That where you get what we're talking about is from being relentless, really and truly. That's what it really boils down to in your walk with God. It's not finding. Because I watched people for years. I wasn't in churches like that a lot, but enough that it made an impression where I saw people go up to the altar and do all these things and say all these things, and they were completely unchanged. They went right back to being the way they were before, and these were not good people. I'll just leave it as general as that. Because I lived with them for a time. And when I saw that, and I saw the contrast between that and someone who's trying to live their life for God and genuinely doing that, there's no comparison.
Yeah.
Because they want to blame the devil for everything, literally.
Yeah. I will say, Richelle, if you're watching me do stuff, and learning from me, you're learning from God. So you're always learning from God.
Absolutely.
I'm following him.
Right.
And hopefully doing what he's telling me to do. But I'm not like some superhuman Christian person.
I know. I live with you. Yeah. I know that too.
It's just I have problems. I have a temper. I have things going on.
But my point is, you're very real about it. That's my point. You're very real about it. You don't pretend to be. You don't pretend to be something you're not, and you're not blaming the devil for everything.
Yeah. I felt about 15 years ago that I am my own worst enemy.
Yeah.
That I'm more of a problem for myself than the devil ever will be.
Yeah, I find that for me, it's not the big, like, I hear Satan telling me to do X, Y, and Z. It's so much more subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where I just feel that it's almost like a sickly sweet feeling of giving in to something I know I shouldn't do, but I justify it. And it kind of feels good. And I feel that pull and I'm starting to go in. And for me, it's been things like being judgmental of people, feeling superior to people. A lot of it is the way I grew up and everything, but I can feel that temptation. And I don't know if it's the devil per se. I know it's wrong, but it used to be so natural because I grew up around it. There was a lot of that sort of thing in my church. It wasn't super overt. It was definitely there. So, being influenced and sort of justifying, okay, it's okay to be judgmental about certain people. Or it's okay to think I'm better than those people.
Mm-hmm.
But like, as far as, hearing Satan or being able to say, yes, this is definitely demonic. I've had a few experiences, but even those I'm not absolutely certain of because I was in a really bad mental state and I was hearing things, seeing things. I think that there was an element of just give up and die, kind of thing that definitely was, obviously not of God.
Right.
Yeah. So I think it's fair to say, given all of what we've talked about so far, that we agree that there is a supernatural element to this life. And that there is a demonic horde, there is a devil, but they're limited in power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most they can do is tempt us. That is it. They can't force us it's up to us to make the choice.
Right.
And the other thing I think that's fair to say that we're kind of pulling the threads together is that while we recognize that giving into these temptations is not what God wants, not everything we feel or think is from the devil that we need to be delivered from. And I think the main thing that I struggle against is this idea that the devil is putting onto me like that cloak I mentioned, depression or shame or guilt or anger or whatever.
Yeah.
I struggle against that idea because that makes my problem not real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes it something that you could blame on this entity as opposed to, being curious, finding out what's actually going on here. You can say it's of the devil. Well, then what do you do with that? We resist the devil. He must flee. So I'm going to resist these feelings, different things that I think a lot of us have tried taking these thoughts captive. I remember just exhausting myself with, oh no, I'm thinking a bad thought. Oh no, and I think some of that was actually good, but I think I took it too far. Like, oh no, the devil's giving me a thought. Let me hurry it and take it to Jesus,
Right. I mean, you can definitely exhaust yourself because the problem is internal. Like,
right.
You're endlessly stuck until you break the cycle. You're endlessly stuck in fight or flight, freeze, fawn,
and flop,
etc.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing.
Whatever's happening. Flop is new.
Yeah.
I don't know that one as well, but fight, flight, freeze, and fawn, I do know because I still do those things. But you're endlessly stuck in hypervigilance and stuck in this state of terror and trying to manage what you feel is real. So that's part of the problem is what we're experiencing isn't happening now. It's not real now.
Right.
Yeah.
But it feels real and creates all kinds of problems in the present.
Right. The feelings and the problems are in the present. So it's easy to just, make it about right now.
Right. But the problem, this hypervigilant state, you can't shut it off necessarily with scripture.
Right.
Right.
You can't necessarily declare things over yourself to get rid of it. It might help people who are experiencing normal, average life things that aren't related to trauma. Maybe it helps those people. I don't know, but I know it doesn't help me. Because I mean, this is the road we walk.
Yeah.
We've got this internal state of hypervigilance. We also trust the Lord.
Yes.
Implicitly. We have both of those things going on at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
This state of hypervigilance where we're just scanning the environment and just watching for danger, but also we trust God and we know that He will take care of us.
Yes.
And it seems like the two things can't coexist.
Yeah. I mean, I certainly believed that they couldn't. You wonder, where did that even come from? I think from a variety of sources, but I would try so hard, like, oh no, I feel bad. Let me do the scriptures. Let me praise God. Turn up the worship music,
Right.
Because it just wasn't acceptable.
Right.
And I think that's where, as we look at the Psalms and everything, where you see, like the one that I like to look at, when I am afraid, I will trust in Him and in God, in whose word I praise. Like those two can happen at the same time, that was like a revolutionary idea. And to be honest, took so much of the pressure off. Like, I don't have to try to make the feeling go away. I can go ahead and feel crappy and not say, oh no, the devil's after me, you know?
Well, and the problem isn't the feeling. The problem is what you do with the feeling.
Yeah. But I think even letting it be there long enough to go, okay, now where is this coming from? Instead of just trying to just drive it out and I can't feel this way. But yeah, like going on then to the next step. What am I afraid of? And, you know.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, so people are trying to get you to stop feeling sad.
Yeah.
Or stop feeling depression. Let's go with depression because that's more understandable.
Yeah.
You're depressed and you go to another Christian and they'll say, well, you should, be praising God and speaking truth over yourself and singing songs. And when I sing songs, I feel better and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so you go and do it, but then it doesn't go away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you go back to them and like, well, you didn't do it hard enough.
What's hard enough?
Or maybe it's a demon. Because if just singing doesn't get rid of it, it must be a demon.
Yeah, like if none of the things on the checklist works, now we got to look into the demonic. And I mean, it's not to say that there might not be some of that in there, but chances are that again, that's another, quick cure thing.
I think the thing to be aware of is that Satan and his horde tempts us to sin. That means take an action.
Right.
Having the feeling in and of itself is not necessarily an action.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're feeling depressed and then you go and take drugs or you drink alcohol or overeat or any of the number of things people might do to feel better, that's where the sin part comes in.
Yeah. I mean, even when I have experienced depression really bad, there's the temptation to just really like give into it, give into those thoughts of, the dark thoughts, the very dark thoughts that I think a lot of us have experienced.
Right.
Because it feels like it's easy to do that. It's like becomes very self-focused. I feel very bad and just sort of giving in. And then the thoughts get darker, the thoughts get worse. And then, we talked before about going into, I can't think of the word. It's like not just discouragement, but all the way to
despair.
Despair, that's the word. I've been there. And that's like totally cutting God out of the equation.
Well, that, in my opinion, would be sin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being discouraged isn't sinful. It's just being discouraged. But if you allow Satan to tempt you into despair, now you're walking in sin, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's hard to know when you're in it, too, that it's even sin. It just feels like the natural course of things. But there is that point where you chose to give in.
Right.
Yeah. I'm in my healing journey. I'm becoming self-aware of how much fear just overarchingly runs my life. And this whole conversation tells me that it's not a demonic influence. I was taught to fear because of trauma. But my responsibility is to deal with it, not just let it run, because the sin is letting it run my life. That's the sin. That's the problem. It's not demonic.
Yeah.
It's just I don't feel safe, which is not inherently wrong. It's a result of trauma, but it's my responsibility to figure out how to handle it and not let it ruin my life, which I've been doing for a really long time. So this idea that we're talking about as far as like demonic influence, I don't think it's as much as people think it is. And I wonder sometimes, and I'm not going to accuse anybody of this, but I wonder sometimes if people say that so they don't have to take responsibility for whatever's going on in their life.
I mean, in some perspectives, there is no depression, sadness. We're already supposed to experience, bliss,
ecstatic joy all the time,
and never
bliss, yeah.
feel bad about anything. So if you're feeling bad about something, you're sinning.
That's a really tough way to live.
Yeah, so if you can externalize it like that, then yeah, you don't really take responsibility for why you're depressed, why you're sad, why you're feeling grief, why you're struggling with sin. It's just why I think people keep sin to themselves, why they don't confess it more.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's shameful to experience sadness, grief, etc. Like if there's something wrong with you if you're doing that. But you have to read the Bible to figure out what's sin, first of all.
Yeah.
How sin manifests. Also, how the Holy Spirit manifests in your life.
Yeah.
To know whether or not you're experiencing temptation or experiencing the Holy Spirit, like helping you heal.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I've never been through physical therapy that felt good.
It's true.
I mean, I've been through physical therapy multiple times for different reasons, and every time it was painful.
Yeah.
But what was the point of all that pain?
To save you further injury or more pain later in life.
To heal the initial injury.
Yeah.
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 I jumped ahead a little, sorry.
I mean, having recently experienced physical therapy, I remember initially when, so I had broken my foot, and the physical therapist was testing my range of motion. I was like, oh, ow, 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 and I remember thinking, oh man, I've got a long way to go, and everything hurt. I had to go home, do the ice and ibuprofen treatment, put my foot up and yes. And, especially initially, gosh, the first few times, and I went 3 days a week for a month. So it was intense. It was at least an hour each session.
A lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. That's a very short time.
It was what my surgeon had prescribed. So they came up with a stringent plan, and it hurt. It was hard. But I will tell you, by the time we got near the end, I was doing the same things, only I was like, this is so much easier. And it's not exactly that it felt good, except it wasn't hurting as much. And I could see that I was getting stronger. Like, post-surgery, it wasn't just my foot that was weaker. It was like my whole leg that needed to be tended to.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't pleasant. Yeah, it was unpleasant. It was hard. There were times when I was like, oh, I really don't want to go.
If somebody looked at the pain in your foot and said, that's a demon? Because that's the same as what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's the same idea.
It's not even taking into account, like, let's say they didn't know that I had broken my foot. They just knew that my foot was in pain. To jump straight to there, like, oh, your foot's not supposed to be hurting. So pain is of the devil. So we need to cast that out of your foot so your foot doesn't hurt anymore.
I've been through that, not for my foot exactly, but I've been through that sort of physical application of deliverance.
Yeah, and it displays ignorance, really, and not even a willingness to say, well, what's going on? What happened? What happened recently? Did you, and then to find out, oh, you broke your foot. Oh, it was that kind of fracture. Yikes,
Yeah, so
your foot hurts.
It's not sinning to feel pain in your foot because you broke it.
Right. It was a symptom of an event that occurred.
It means something needs to be healed. And now if God decided to miraculously heal your foot and no further intervention was needed, yay, so be it. Let's do it. Amen.
Ooh,
I'm there. But if he chose to let you go through surgery and healing, physical therapy, visits to the doctor, amen, so be it, we're there.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that means that part of the process is dealing with pain.
Yeah. And part of the process is I had to do my part.
Right.
I had to acknowledge what was actually going on, and I had to go through the painful process.
Right.
As opposed to just being able to, okay, now you're free from pain.
The temptation might have been to never walk on your foot again, or to not go through with the surgery, or to not go to physical therapy, or do any of the things that would actually help. That would be sin in my eyes, because that's not following God's plan for your healing.
Yeah, and it was reckless. It would be reckless with my body. Like, what are you doing? You know, I need to take care of myself in a way that's appropriate.
That's appropriate, honoring to God, honoring to yourself, honoring to God's plan for yourself.
Yeah.
So if you ever felt any of that temptation and you gave into it, you'd have to repent, come back to it, get on the right track again, et cetera, et cetera. But at no point was the demonic influence the pain in your foot. It might have been a temptation to just not do the right thing.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I was given a sheet of activity, in fact, it's right here on my desk. Exercises I was supposed to do between sessions. So it wasn't just that I was going 3 days a week. There were things I had to do every day. And I was tempted to not do those things because now it's on me. Nobody's looking,
Right. So going through the healing process and experiencing pain doesn't mean that there's demons involved.
Right.
It's just the reality of what you have to do to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the analogy we're making here is that it's very similar in our brains.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. I had an experience when I was younger. I don't recall exactly what I was struggling with at the time, but I was struggling with something, and I said something to somebody. I was going to a church, and I think I described what I was struggling with in the context of trauma. And the lady that I spoke to, her response was, not exactly that sounds like a demon, but something along those lines. It was more subtle.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, and not knowing anything at that point about how trauma works and everything like that, I said, I think maybe I'm just human. And she kind of went, what does that mean? I said, well, I don't think it's demonic.
What? You're human?
What? You're living on this earth?
I think I'm just human. I think I'm just having a human problem. Like, I don't think everything is demonic. I didn't say that to her, but I definitely thought it, because it was a bit of a tendency to go to that way of thinking. Like,
we give the devil way too much credit, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, Steph, you had mentioned about us being our own worst enemies. I mean,
for sure.
What I think it's smart to just think, okay, so did I do something that led me to this place? Like, what's really going on here? And then address that, just find out what's actually true.
Yeah.
And it could be you're just a human dealing with human things, but with our complex trauma, now we're complex trauma survivors dealing with the effects of the complex trauma on us.
It's brain
as
injury.
Human beings. Yeah.
It's brain injury.
Yeah.
It's disability that we're dealing with. It's not, there's no simple fix, unfortunately.
Right.
And so applying the demonic to what we're experiencing doesn't help.
No.
Right.
At all. Because, I mean, this, again, I'm going to give a little bit of an example of what I'm talking about. So I am working on my food addiction and eating disorder right now. I'm going to therapy, talking through it, making decisions moment by moment, food, whatever.
Yeah.
And today, and like, I've been feeling for the past 3 or so weeks, like, definitely way more urge to binge than normal.
Yeah.
Not sure why exactly, but it's there. And that means I'm eating my lunch. So I had a pretty good lunch lots of chicken. It was Papa Glop. So it was the last of the Papa Glop. So it had tomatoes and peppers and chicken and tomato sauce and sausage, chicken sausage, and
very good.
It's very tasty, very good. I didn't put any carbs in it. And then I decided to have some of my cookies. So I have these little frosted animal cookies that I just love. And
yeah.
So, I had a handful, had another handful, a few more. And then I'm like, internally, and this is where I feel if the demonic's going to be present, this is the moment I want more cookies. And I'm feeling influenced to eat more cookies because I know this particular issue is keeping me trapped and bound. The behavior is not the feelings of, why I eat, but the behavior is keeping me trapped.
Yeah.
So I know I need to overcome the temptations, and I need to find a way to manage my stress better so I'm not tempted. If the devil was involved, this is where he's involved. Is the decision to eat more cookies or not eat more cookies.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds like, who am I going to obey?
Right.
Am I going to go with that urge, that temptation, or am I going to, do what I know is right? Because I think usually we know what's right. But in that moment where you're just like, but I really, really want that,
Yeah.
I don't really want to.
It'll make me feel better. Right?
Yeah. And what do me justify? Well, just a little more. Or, for me, I live with my mom. And, there is a reason why the Bible teaches us that we're commanded to obey our parents. We're commanded to honor our parents, because if it just came naturally, why would he have to tell us that? And that's something that I struggle with. And I just get irritated by her or whatever, especially if I hadn't had my coffee yet, and she's like, hey Evelyn, I'm like, just let me have my coffee, and I just want to I think I'll like snap at her a little, and I'll think, wow, she should understand. I haven't had my coffee yet. We talked about this, and then I'll feel the Lord going, you're in the wrong here. That's like after the fact. But and what I prayed for is, Lord, would you show me like where the decision point is? Because I seem to be doing postmortem on these things all the time. And I'll be like, oh man, I have to apologize now.
Yeah.
And so lately he's been showing me kind of where that is. Plus, I'll get ready. I'll be like, okay, I'm getting ready to go downstairs and get my coffee. Mom's probably going to show up. I need to be prepared, and to intentionally do what's right, or at least be aware enough to not give in.
Yeah.
Right.
But there is that moment, where there's a choice. Am I going to obey this urge to just give in to whatever it is? In this case, grumpy. I just want to be grumpy at her, That would feel good to me, And what doesn't she know? I could justify it, but that doesn't make it right.
Yeah. I think if there's any point, like Steph was saying, if there's any point where the devil is in there, it's the enticement. It's the moment of enticement, because he knows what appeals to us the most. And he will present it to us in a way that looks good.
Yeah. He doesn't show the other side.
Right. And then, like you said, Evelyn, we're dealing with it post-mortem and realizing, oh no, I gave in again.
Yeah.
And, God is merciful, and we mess up bunches of times, and eventually we get it right, hopefully. But that, I think, is, if there's any sort of demonic influence, I think it's the moment of enticement, that moment of the temptation, and we take a second look at it.
Yeah. Now, I want to be clear that, again, going back to the beginning, I'm not saying that people can't experience oppression the way we've described it. it's possible. Like Satan's put a heavy cloak on you that doesn't belong to you. I think that's possible, but it's not applicable when you're dealing with someone who has trauma necessarily.
Right.
It's more likely that it's an internal problem that isn't being resolved by normal church behaviors.
Right.
Yeah.
But the person actually needs more intervention. They need professional help. And
Yeah.
they need something beyond just writing things down or declaring things or Xing the devil or whatever it is you're trying to do.
Yeah. And going all the way back to the beginning, we need the nuance. And we need understanding that this isn't as simple as it's the devil. Because it's much more complex than that.
It's the devil. It's us. It's the world. It's our trauma. It's all kinds of things kind of together.
It could come from a variety of sources. So I think that a lot of times the solutions, like we were saying, a lot of times that we've talked about this before, they do work when it's a surface wound, when it's something that's you're having an off day, you're whatever things aren't going right, but but we're talking about a deep wound, and somebody saying, "Want a Band-Aid?" I know you mean well. What you see, you can't see. It's almost like an abscess or something where it's under the surface.
Infected. Yeah.
And you're like, this really hurts. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry. Here's some Advil.
I have watched so many. Unfortunately, I have a habit of watching Dr. Pimple Popper take out.
Oh yes.
And other
you guys watch that stuff.
I don't know. It's so fascinating.
It's fascinating and satisfying.
And the thing is, when she is exploring, let's say it's an epidermoid cyst on the back, there might be a small bump. And the person's like, oh, I got this bump on my back. It kind of hurts. It's itchy. I don't like it. Can you take it out? She starts cutting and digging around. And it's this giant pocket.
Oof.
Yeah.
Like you can't see that giant pocket on the surface.
Right.
It's grown over the last 25 years. And now there's this massive hole in the body or pocket in the body that is full of it's wet skin cells. That's what's in a cyst.
Ugh.
Yeah. Poor Richelle.
Sorry, Richelle.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Richelle,
anyway, I have to watch it. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, at any rate, the point being is that, you can't put a Band-Aid over something like that and say it's healed.
No.
Yeah.
Or it'll get better. You can't, it's not going to work.
Or even trying to fix it yourself. I mean, just imagine trying to deal with this thing on your back. And then minimizing it. Oh, it's not that bad. It's fine. When really what you need is an expert to get in there.
Yeah. And the people who do that come to see Dr. Pimple Popper or Dr. Lee with these giant.
Yeah, I've seen those
like
pictures of
those. On their head or
on their
sticking
forehead,
out of their neck.
Or a massive cyst on their thigh or this huge lipoma they let go for 15 years.
Yeah.
On their necks or backs or whatever. And
I don't know if Steph was watching some one time and I happened to look down at her screen and saw somebody with this giant thing on their head. Like, what did they wait 50 years to get that fixed?
Well, it can grow pretty fast, but most of the time it's been hanging around for a few years.
They just get used to it. They give it a name. They adjust their hair. They just deal with it. But what it's doing though is, and I've seen this again and again in these cases where they're trying to make it okay, but it's affecting everything. So many times the people who are, dealing with this, they become more and more isolated. They realize people are looking at them because they can't hide it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also that shame element of, I've let this go on for so long. And now when I go see the doctor, they're going to say, why didn't you get here sooner?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I can just deal with it, live with it a little bit longer.
Let me ask you a question. In that case, would you say if this were a Christian person and they felt in their heart the right thing to do was go to the doctor and they didn't, would you consider them not going to the doctor sin?
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the definite, that's right in the Bible. It says if someone knows what to do and they don't do it, that's sin.
Yeah.
So, yeah, by definition, if you know that it's the right thing to do, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I've been there. So,
Richelle, you keep taking a breath in. Do you want to say something?
Well, I was thinking about, I don't remember the name of the disease, but there's a disease that causes multiple tumors to grow in someone, and it can be just very disfiguring. And there was, the first one I saw was of this boy, and his face was very disfigured. The second one I saw was this man who had all these smaller tumors kind of all over his body, his face, his skin.
Yeah.
And he was like, the boy wasn't able to have much done. They could do like surgeries, but it wasn't going to help with the skin being stretched out and things like that. And his eyes and stuff.
Uh-oh. Can't hear Richelle.
Can't hear you.
Something happened.
Hear you. Oh no. She's right in the middle of the story.
I know. I thought my story was bad. She went all the way to that. I've seen some of those. It's pretty disfiguring and kind of upsetting, actually.
Yeah.
Not sure what happened, Richelle. We're having a technical difficulty, people. We can see you, but we can't hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Richelle?
Oh.
Uh-oh. She disappeared.
Bun, come back.
Come back, Bun Bun. My computer froze. Her computer froze, apparently. Okay, well, I guess she'll be back.
She can.
We are getting on the hour. We are getting on the hour, though, so we need to kind of start wrapping up what we're saying.
Wow, that went by quick.
Were we, quote unquote, having fun?
Sure.
Okay, well, maybe we should just go ahead and do our summation.
Yeah.
Summation
that
alert.
Sounds good. Woo! Summation alert.
Yeah, maybe she'll join us for the finale.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we've been talking about how people tend to assign feelings to the devil.
Yeah.
So sadness, depression, grief, anything that people feel is negative, that they feel is unpleasant or unhappy or painful.
Yeah.
If it's any of those things, it's from the devil. A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but a lot of Christians do that. So it's possible to be tempted to sin by the devil and give in to things like grief, sadness, whatever it leads to poor choices, poor behavior, whatever. But for the most part, people with a history of trauma, because it's like they're applying this sort of feeling as if it were a blanket the devil puts on you, an oppression from the outside.
Right.
But people like us have ongoing internal oppression from our brains. So that means that we are struggling against how our brains formed, how they're functioning now. PTSD brings a host of issues. Depression is definitely one of them. Anger, frustration, grief, sadness, all of it. And so assigning all that to the devil doesn't actually help us because we can't stop that.
Yeah.
Okay. So doing things like deliverance ministry isn't necessarily going to help because the problem is not the devil. Right. If I feel sad or upset or depressed or angry, even Those are normal human feelings in response to really terrible things that happen.
Yeah.
And as we're going through therapy, those things come up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I'm discovering that most of my feelings about my mother are underneath a heavy blanket of fear.
Mm. Yeah.
I am tempted to stay in the fear.
Mm-hmm.
The fear itself is not bad, it's not evil.
Right.
But if I let myself live there, now I'm participating in sin.
Yeah.
I'm sinning, right? So my job is to release the fear and to connect with my emotions concerning my mother and to process all of that.
Right.
Um, so, uh, the part where the devil is most likely causing trouble for people like us is when when we're aware of what's going on and we're faced with temptation to stay in or do something or whatever that we know is wrong.
Right.
Like, that's the point where the devil's influence is probably, if it's happening, that's where it's happening.
Yeah.
It's not happening just because I feel sadness or depression.
Yeah.
If I refuse to get help for my depression or to process my grief or my sadness, maybe you could make a case for me sinning and being tempted by the devil. But if I'm doing my best to go to therapy and deal with the problems and take my medications and take care of my body, take care of my heart, my mind, and do all the things that I believe God wants me to do,
Yeah.
I don't see the devil being necessarily involved in my depression.
Right.
I have a legitimate reason to be depressed,
Yes.
but I'm not supposed to stay there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I have to go a different route than most other people to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, when, and I think we didn't really talk about this part much, but we can kind of say it now. When you encounter, as a Christian, when you encounter someone who is struggling with depression and you find out that they have a trauma history, be careful assigning what they're feeling to the demonic.
Yeah.
Be careful assigning solutions that probably won't change anything, because that will just heap shame, more
Yes.
shame on that person, because they can't get it together, because they're broken, because they're unable to do the right thing, or whatever it is that the action you're telling them to do is, whatever the message is they're getting from it not working.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, what we think is better is to understand why they're depressed, understand why
Yeah.
they're sad, encourage them to seek help if they're not, or to keep going if they are. You
Yeah.
know, I don't have any problems with talking about scriptures or singing songs or journal. I don't have a problem with that. But if you just assign it as the solution,
Mm-hmm.
it's not. It's going to make things worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's all I have to say for my summation. Did I do a good job?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think you pretty well said it.
Okay. Well, Rochelle's not back,
Yeah.
so I guess it's just you and I doing the dance.
Oh, we lost the bun bun. A
Oh
third of
no!
us is missing.
Oh no!
Oh,
Aw.
well. Oh well, I guess we'll make the best of it.
Yeah, she's texting and saying it's shut down and restarting. I can check on her ETA and see where she's at. Maybe we can give her a
Yeah.
minute.
We could pull her back in.
We can wrap things up with the bun bun.
Yeah. I was thinking, when I've experienced really terrible emotions, the people who helped the most
Mm-hmm.
were the ones who were just kind. They were there. They maybe they gave me a hug, or, they weren't trying to fix anything, but they were offering compassion and no judgment, no, really? You what? It was more, I'm so sorry you're going through this, and I want to be here for you. That means a lot. So if we can offer that, or if there's something, as we've thought about some things that we've talked about before, ask the Lord, how can I help this person? He may pop something into your head. I remember there was this one time the Lord was like, you need to make this person a pan of brownies. It was a neighbor. I didn't even really know them that well, but they were just going through a terrible time. And I taught their son piano. And I just was like, the Lord was like, take a plate of brownies over to them. And so I did, and I remember that, just that little thing, it was the right thing because it was what the Lord said to do. And so the brownies, and I'm really sorry, guys, So
Richelle said she doesn't think it's going to turn back on. So it's just you and me.
Okay, we'll do our best.
All right.
The cats.
Yeah, they'll be here. Yep. Okay.
Subscribe.
Ball.
Oh, here we go.
Lights. Kitty cats. Okay, here we go.
Share.
Like.
Subscribe.
Comment.
Do all the
buttons.
Push
all the buttons.
You know what to do. Do it.
Jinx, you owe me a fresca.
You got it.
Yeah, so we're gonna be continuing on. We got a couple more of these, don't we?
Yeah, we have at least one more. I think at least a couple. I don't know. I don't have the list in front of me. Oh yeah, we have two more.
We have two more. We have weird attitudes and beliefs about abuse. That's a huge one. And spiritual bypassing, which I had only heard about recently because of people like Anne Marie of Mind Joy Counseling and others like what's that guy that does the, not Patrick Tahan, but the other guy?
Tim Fletcher.
Because of Tim Fletcher. He was the first one I ever heard talk about spiritual bypassing. So, but the weird attitudes about abuse in the church, that is a huge, it's beyond just us dealing with the past, but it's also a problem in the present when people are experiencing abuse in the real time present.
Yeah.
And people are acting weird about it and not calling it what it is, not informing the authorities, telling the women to stay with their husbands. Ugh. I don't want to get all riled up, but here we are.
Yeah.
That's come. I'm sure that'll come up. But when Ravi Zacharias died, and it was coming out that he had, employed people in a very unseemly manner.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, there's a lot of crackling.
Oh, we were just wrapping up there, Bun Bun. Unfortunately, you missed the dance. Yeah, I can't hear you. Everything plugged in, can't hear you.
Yeah, I heard a little bit of like crackling.
There's some buzzing. Still can't hear you. Oh well. You could just nod and smile. Smile and wave.
Smile and wave, Bun Bun. Smile and wave.
Anyway.
You know.
We did the dance already. Sorry you missed it. Anyway, when it was coming out that he had paid people for things, Ravi Zacharias was someone I looked up to.
Yeah.
And then I found that out. And then after he died, all this was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
People are like, well, he can't defend himself. He's dead. I'm like, why would you even say that? It makes no sense to me. Like,
Ugh, makes me
I don't.
sick.
I know, it makes me sick too. Anyway, I think we're pretty much done for
Yeah.
tonight. So thank you for joining us. Look forward to hearing your feedback, comments, etc. Share this with somebody you care about.
Yes.
If you think this will help them, we're here to help. Share our
Well,
trauma
too,
recovery
yes.
journeys out loud.
Yes.
Which includes our faith.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to get our names out there. So, excuse me. So feel free to pass it along.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am Stephanie Dunham.
I'm Evelyn Mason.
And that's
she's
Richelle Knapp.
Richelle Knapp, wherever she is on the screen.
Wherever she is on the screen. See you later.
Bye. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you got some food for thought and encouragement to keep going and keep growing. See you next time. For more episodes, you can find us on Spotify and YouTube. Comment, like, and subscribe to spread the word and help the channel grow.